Shall we start? Have we started the recording? Shall I proceed?
Yes, it has started.
Oh, so hi all. Good morning. A very warm welcome to this equal training course. As far as my introduction is concerned, I am Mohammed Tanveer Khan. I have close to 11 years of experience in IT industry, working in mostly database, data warehouse, and ETL technologies. So here, let me share you the agenda. So this is the agenda of the course. These are all topics we will be covering during our journey. And of course, the course will start from scratch. We'll start from scratch because we have participants, those who are fresher, and some of the participants, they are from non-technical background. So the course will start from scratch. And feel free to ask question and try to make the session interactive. Okay. Don't wait for the class to be over and then you have to ask questions. So you can stop anywhere and you can ask the questions. So humble request to make the session interactive. Okay. So before I proceed further, any question if anyone have. And this is the editor Oracle Lifecycle. I will tell you that how to log into this. So we will be practicing on this only. And this session will be totally hands-on. Okay. So you can practice either on Oracle or I will tell you how to install Microsoft SQL Server as well. So you don't have to worry or bother about this, that how to install Microsoft SQL Server, how to work on this Oracle Live SQL. We will take care of all those things. We will tell you. Okay. So before I proceed further, any question? Okay, hope we are all set. So anyone, any idea that why SQL? What is the use of the SQL? What's the benefit of SQL? Any idea why we need SQL? No idea. Okay, see, say a SQL stands for a structured query language. Okay, SQL. This is also known as SQL, or you will see maybe they are pronouncing this as SQL, which means it's structured query language. Okay, we will see that why the name is structured, fine, and what is structured and what is unstructured and what is semi-structured data. But as of now, we will try to understand that why SQL, what is the need for SQL. And nowadays you will see that most of the job profile, they are looking for SQL expertise, right? If you want to go for any data engineering role, data analyst or business analyst, so they will look for this SQL skill sets. Okay. So why SQL? What is the need? So actually SQL helps you to fetch the required data from the database. Okay. If any business wants to perform well, if they want to understand how the business is performing, how it is growing, so they have to understand how their product, how the customers, how the profit is increasing, what are the losses they're making, how the revenue is increasing, by what percentage it is increasing. Okay. Many such data they want. So SQL language will help you to fetch those data quickly. Okay, you can tell that we can get those data from Excel sheet as well, but Excel sheet has certain limitations. Okay, like the volume, you cannot store more than millions of records in Excel sheet, but in database you can store 50 millions, 20 millions, or even more than that data, right? And if you want to fetch data based on some business logic, you can derive it easily using SQL. So we will see all those things. So overall, the main purpose or the reason why we go for SQL is it helps us to fetch the data as per our requirement or as per the business need. So that's what we need SQL. And most of the job profile these days, you will see that they're looking for SQL expertise, right? We'll see all those things. Okay. Before that, let me explain you what is table, and then we will proceed further. I'll take example of very simple employee table, and suppose this is employee ID, this is employee name, this is salary, this is location, and then you have gender. Suppose employee ID is 1, employee name is A, salary is 100 rupees. Suppose location is Delhi, gender is male. Okay. So this is a table. I've created an employee table, and these are the columns. Okay. Employee ID, employee name, salary, location, gender. These are known as columns. Okay. So if I will ask you how many columns we have, how many columns we have in this employee table? 5 columns, right? Employee ID is 1 column, employee name is 2nd column, then salary, location, and gender. These are the 5 columns present in our employee table, and this is the employee table. Now, this entire record, this entire data is known as one record, or this is also known as row. Okay. So in this table, we have 5 columns, and how many rows? Only 1 row. Okay. Similarly, suppose if I want to insert one more record to B, and then salary, suppose it is 200, and the location is Mumbai, and suppose gender is female. So this is another record. This is second record. Okay. So in any table, these all are known as columns. So we have 5 columns, and this is 1 record, and this is another record. So here we have 2 records and 5 columns in this employee table. Okay. Any questions so far?
Good to go.
Okay, fine. Now, if you don't have any question, I have a question. So here I have shown you an employee table, and I have shown you that we have 5 columns. Okay. Is there any restriction on the number of columns? Like here I have shown you only 5 columns. So is there any rule, any restriction that you can create only 5 columns, only 10 columns in a table, or only 15 columns in a table? Is there any restriction on a table? Any idea? And guys, please try to answer. I'm not bothered that your answer is correct or incorrect, right or wrong. So just share your thoughts.
So here is no restriction.
Yeah, so in any table, okay, when you are creating any table in a database, there is no restriction on the number of columns. You can create a table with 10 columns, with 5 columns, with 2 columns, with 50 columns, with 100 columns. There is no restriction. Okay. Sometime for freshers, they can ask this kind of questions in interviews, that how many columns you can create in a table. So there is no restriction on the number of columns. But as a best practice, it is suggested not to create more number of columns in one table. We will see the reason for that, that how it impacts the normalization concept and all those things. Okay, so the best practice is not to create large number of columns in one table. Okay, but if the question is can I create or not, so yes, you can create, that's not a problem. Okay, fine. Now coming to number of records, here in this table, how many records I have?
2 records.
2 records. And if I will ask you how many data I have?
2.
No. These all are data. 1 is a data, A is a data, 100 is a data, Delhi is a data, this 200 is a data, Mumbai is a data, right? So if I will ask you how many data are there, so we have 10 data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So don't get confused with data and record. Data is different, record is different. Okay. Now here in this table, I have created only 2 only two records, right? And this is also known as rows. This is one row, this is another row. Okay, rows or records, they both are same. Now, I have a question that in a table, how many records we can create? Is there any restriction on the number of records in a table?
No, no,
No, no
No,
restriction.
no restriction. Very good. There is no restriction on the number of records in a table. You can create 5 records, you can create 10 records, you can create 1 million records, you can create 2 million records. There is no restriction. Okay, fine. So this is all about table, rows, columns. Okay, but like right now, the table employee which I have created is on an Excel sheet, right? You can see this I have created on an Excel sheet. But when you're working in project, so this all will be created in a database, right? You have to create this in database, and then you have to find the information. Then you have to write the SQL queries and all those things. So we'll see all those things on the line. But before starting, let's see first of all how to create a table. So right now we will start creating a table employee. We'll see what is the syntax of create a table. Okay. So whenever you want to create a table, first of all, you have to write create word. Okay, you have to write create. So this create is known as reserved keyword. Okay, you have two kinds of keyword in SQL. One is reserved keyword, and please don't make a note of all those things. We will share the classroom recording, the classroom notes, everything with you. So don't copy it and just concentrate on the lecture. After the class is over, we'll share all those things with you. Okay. We have reserved keywords, then we have user defined keywords. Okay. Now the question is, what is reserved keywords and what are the user defined keywords? Okay. Reserved keywords are those keywords which have a special meaning in the SQL world. Okay, like you went you went for shopping in a mall. Okay, and there you will see some of the parking areas. They'll mention as reserved parking. Hope you all have noticed that they will mention that it is reserved parking. It means that area has been reserved for maybe the manager of that mall or some other person. It is reserved and you should not park your car there, right? So similarly in SQL, we have certain keywords which are reserved. Reserved it means the SQL world, they have their own meaning for that. So this create is a reserved keyword. Okay. The moment you will write create, the SQL engine, it will understand that the user wants to create something. Then after that, you have to write table. And those who are not speaking, please go on mute. After create, you have to write table. Okay. So when you will write table after create, the SQL engine will understand that the user wants to create a table. Then the SQL will ask you that what is the name of table which you want to create. Then you have to write this name of the table. This name is a user defined name. Okay, this employee name is user defined. What is user defined? User defined means the name which as a user you are keeping. Okay, and the table name you have all the freedom. You can create a table with any name. There is no restriction. There are certain restrictions which I will tell you down the line. Okay, but as of now, just understand that there is no restriction. So here I have written create table employee. So from this, I am telling to SQL engine that SQL, please create a table with the name employee. Then after that, SQL will ask me that, okay, what are the column names? Then the column name, first column name is employee ID. So I have to write here employee ID. Okay. And then I have to keep data type. I have written int. Int means integer. So I am telling to SQL engine that this employee ID, we will store only integers or numbers. So you have to mention this. What a data type, we will discuss in detail down the line. Okay. Then after employee ID, you have a column with the name employee name. So you have to mention employee name here. Then again, you have to mention data type. That from data type, you are actually mentioning to SQL sorry, that what kind of data you will be inserting. So don't get confused that what is this varchar, why I have given 50. Don't concentrate on all those things because we will discuss this separately in data type class. Okay. So as of now, just understand this that if I have mentioned varchar, it means this employee name can store characters A, B, C, D, or a string name as well. Ramesh, Rajesh, Mohan, India, like that. Okay. And if I have mentioned int, it means integer. It means I can store numbers here in this employee ID. Okay. After employee name, I have salary. So now tell me for salary, what should be the data type? Shall I keep int or varchar? Who will answer this?
Integer only.
Integer, because you can see this is number. So I have to mention here integer. Okay. After salary, I have location column. For location, what should be the data type? Varchar, right?
Varchar.
Because, yeah, because this is something characters we are using. Then I have the last column is gender. For gender as well, we use varchar. Why I have written 50, I will tell you the reason for this, but please don't get confused right now with all these things that why Tanveer has written 50. We will discuss all these things. Okay. So this is the syntax to create a table. First of all, I have written create. So when you have written create, you are telling the SQL engine that I want to create something. Then the SQL engine will ask you that what you want to create. Then you have written table. So you are telling that I want to create a table with the name employee, and then you have to mention each and every column name. So here the employee ID is a column, and then the data type int, and then you have to give comma, and then all the other columns you have to mention. Okay. Let me execute this. So when you want to execute this, copy this line. Okay. And here you can see this run button is there. Just click on this. So you will get the output as table is created. Okay. Now, if you want to confirm whether the table has been created or not, so you have a keyword DSC. DSC means describe. Okay. Describe employee. So if you want to confirm whether the table has been created correctly or not, all the columns are present or not, so you should use this DSC keyword and then the table name. So you are telling to SQL engine that SQL, please describe or please show me the structure of this employee table. Okay. So I'm again clicking on this run button, and you can see that all the column employee ID, employee name, salary, location, gender, all the column name is present. Then the second thing you can see this is null. So don't again concentrate on this. We will discuss what is null and why this is blank, what is the significance of this. Okay. Then this is the type. Type means data type. Okay. Now here you might be thinking that Tanveer, you have mentioned here employee ID as int integer, but why it is showing as number, right? So if you're working on Oracle, you can use int integer or you can use number as well. Both you can use. There's not a problem. Okay. So that's why it is showing number here because it's taken in terms of number. That's not a problem. If you want to replace this int with number, you can create with number. Your wish. Okay. And all those things. Now here you might be thinking why this varchar 2 is coming. So if you will write varchar or you can write varchar 2, they both are one and the same. Your wish. Okay. Before I proceed further, any question so far?
And so Tanvir, like there is no difference between varchar and varchar2, like why they are different
Yes,
keywords?
there is different between varchar and varchar 2. Okay, when
Okay,
we'll study that in data type, no, I will tell you in
okay, okay,
that
okay,
class that
okay.
what is the difference between varchar and varchar 2. But if you're working in Oracle platform, okay,
Mhm.
then better always use varchar2. Okay. Actually,
Okay.
you guys are beginners now, so I don't want to confuse with all this data type that why Oracle is telling to use varchar2, why Oracle is telling not to use varchar2. There is a lot of reasons are there. We will discuss down the line. Okay, just to keep the class simple and very straightforward as of now, I'm just telling you that you should use varchar. We will discuss what is the difference between varchar, varchar2, and then again you have data type char, when to use char data type, and what is the size. 50 I have mentioned. Can I keep it 100? Can I keep it 1? All these things we will discuss down the line. Okay.
Okay, okay. So whatever we are using in the table definition, it will be varchar2 only, like we can see in the.
Ha, 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 ha. It will
Okay,
be converted in varchar2. You are correct.
okay,
It will be
okay,
converted in varchar2 because now varchar2 is the official data type of Oracle
mhm,
platform. Okay. We will discuss this in detail. I will in the data type class. No, we will discuss this in detail. Because if I will teach you now, so many those who are freshers, those who don't know about data, you might get confused. So that's why once you will get some maturity level, then we will
got it.
discuss you with this integer, number, char, varchar2, date, time stamp, and all those data types. Okay. Good question. Any other question, guys?
Uh, so Tanvir, which ID you are using and how we need to open this?
This platform, how I have
Yes.
opened this.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
this is
How
this.
we need to open this?
I will tell you. This is very simple. Just go on Google, okay, and type this Oracle. Don't try now. After the class, you can try. And if you're getting stuck, you can connect with me after class. You can ping me on WhatsApp or you can call me. Just type Oracle Live SQL on Google. Press enter. A new page will be open. Click on that link, and then it will ask you to register. Then you have to give your name, user ID, and password. An account will be created. That's all. Okay. So you have to remember your user ID and password what you have given. So you can see I've given my email ID as a user ID. Okay, and then password. So now you have to log in using that, and then this platform will be open, and then you can start working on this. Very simple. Okay.
Oh,
Is
thank you.
that clear?
Yes,
Sure.
yes. Perfect.
Yeah,
But
Tanvir, I
if
have a
you think,
question.
yeah, please.
Yeah, actually, you have mentioned employee ID INT and is the data
Uh-huh.
type. And when I entered the describe employee, then it's showing as a number. Why it's not
Uh-huh.
showing as an int?
That is what I have mentioned that you're working on Oracle platform. Okay, before this, let me answer one thing. You see, SQL is a language. Okay, is a query language. Now, like we are using mobile, right? So we have mobile of Redmi, Realme, Samsung, Motorola, and many other companies are there, right?
Hmm.
But overall, the functionality of mobile is more or less same. Correct, no? If you
Yes,
go
yes.
for on this brands, more or less it is same. I agree that there will be little bit variation will be there and all those things, but more or less it is same. Similarly, SQL is a language. Okay. Now there are different vendors like Oracle is one vendor. Then you have Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, these
Yes.
all are different platforms where you can use this SQL language to fetch the data. Okay, so on Oracle, I'm showing you right now on Oracle. These all things on Oracle. But if you think that Tanvir, in my project we are working on Microsoft SQL Server, so I have that Microsoft SQL Server as well. We will show you examples on Microsoft SQL Server as well, but you can use this, you can try this query on Microsoft SQL Server or any other platform wherever you want. You are free and it will work everywhere. Okay. Now, your question is that you have mentioned here int integer, why it is taking as number. So
Yeah.
if you're working on Oracle Life SQL, that is what I told you in the beginning. You can write int or you can write number. They both are one and the same, but
Oh,
Oracle engine it will convert that to number. You can try this. Okay, after class you please try all these things whatever I'm telling. You can
okay.
write number or you can write int, anything your wish. Okay, they
Okay.
both will work. Similarly, here I have mentioned varchar, but you can see SQL engine is showing this is varchar. Why? Because varchar2 is the official
Official.
data type of Oracle.
Yes.
Actually, I don't want to go in detail that why this is official, why it is not showing varchar. There's a lot of reasons are there that why they
Sure.
have decommissioned varchar, and even the Oracle team they have told to use varchar to not to use varchar. Still, why I'm showing you with varchar? A lot of questions are there. So if I will start answering these questions now, we will debate in some other topics. Okay.
Okay.
So, but sure, I will answer all those things when we will discuss the data type in the data type class. Okay.
Okay.
Fine, good. Any other question, guys? So far, any questions? No? Okay. So far we have studied, we have understood that how to create a table with the name employee. Here this name is employee. If you want to create a table with some other name, you can write that name, no issues. Okay. This is, you have all the freedom. There are certain restrictions I will tell you down the line. Okay. And then these are the columns, employee ID. Again, the column name, your wish. Whatever name you want, you can keep the name. So table name and the column names is totally based on the user wish. You can create a table with any name, the columns with any name, any number of columns. Here I have created table employee with 5 columns, right? Employee ID, employee name, salary, location, and gender. But you can add 5 more columns. All those things are there. Okay. So far it is clear. Any question, guys? And please ask questions. Please make the session interactive. Don't wait that, okay, once the class will be over, then I will ask that. No. If you think that, okay, I'm not able to understand, you should ask questions immediately. If you think that this is not clear, ask me that, then will please repeat this. I will repeat it. Okay, because guys, this SQL is very important. Nowadays, in most of the job profile, the recruiters, they're asking for SQL skill set. Okay, and I'm starting from scratch and we'll go till the advanced level of window functions, analytic functions, rank, dense rank, and all those things. Okay, fine then. So far I have shown you that how to create a table and how to verify it. So you have verified that the table is created and we have all the columns. So what next? Table is created. After that, what you want?
Need to insert the records.
Very good. First of all, we have just created the table. Okay. After that, we have to insert the records. It is like you have constructed a house, and then after that, either you will stay or you will give your house to a tenant, right? So similarly, now I will try to insert this record. So now let's see how to insert record in this table. One more thing I want to tell you here. Don't think that this create is over. No. In this create, there are a lot of other things as well. How to add primary key, how to add null, not null constraints, other check constraints, how to add primary key, foreign key constraints. Those who know all this thing, that is what I'm telling. Those who doesn't know, don't get confused. So why I'm telling is, don't think that okay, Tanveer has just told the create syntax, but he has not mentioned all the constants. So we'll see all the constants on the line. Okay. Now we have created this table. Now, after creation of table, we have to insert the data. So for that, we have to write insert. The moment you will write insert, this is again reserved keyword of SQL engine, of SQL word. The SQL engine will understand that the user wants to insert something. Okay. Then you have to write insert into employee, because in your database, in your entire database, you will be having a lot of tables, 100, 200, 500 tables. So you have to mention, you have to tell to SQL engine that in which table you want to insert data. So that is why I have written here insert into employee. I am telling to SQL engine that the SQL, I want to insert data in this employee table. Okay. And then values. What all data you want to insert? You have to write values here. So the first is 1, and then A, 100, daily, and then M. Okay. So this is a syntax when you want to insert data. First of all, you have to write insert into, and then the table name, because you have a lot of tables in the database. So SQL engine will get confused that in which table I have to insert data. So you have to explicitly mention here that in which table you want to insert data. That is why I have mentioned here insert into employee, because I want to insert data in the employee table. And then values. So you are telling to SQL engine that these all are the values which I want to insert. Okay. Excuse me. Now let me run this. You can see output here, one row inserted. Okay. But if you want to cross check that the data has been inserted correctly or not, then you have this keyword select the star from employee. Okay. Let me execute this and then I will tell you that what is the use of the selected star. First of all, please verify if the data is inserted correctly or not. Employee ID 1, employee name was A, salary is 100, and location Delhi and gender is in. Is this correct data, guys?
Yeah, this was correct.
Correct. Okay. So, so right now we have seen that how to insert data. We have seen that insert into employee values, and all these values I have passed. So after that, I have executed this and select a star from employee, and then we have checked that the data has been inserted into this table. Okay. Now, select is again a reserved keyword of SQL. Okay, when you're writing select, the SQL engine will understand that the user wants some data. Okay, when you're writing select, it means that user wants some data. After that, you have written a star. Okay, so a star means you want everything. You want all the columns. You want all the records. So a star in the SQL word means everything. Okay, and then you are writing from, because you have to tell to SQL engine that from which table you want the data, because you have large number of tables in a database. Okay, so you have to mention that from which table you want. So I am telling that I want this all the data from employee table, and then I have executed this query, and you can say I can get all the column names and the record which I have inserted here. Okay, any questions so far? I know you'll be having a lot of questions, so please ask if you have any question.
No, like when I entered as a user into, so is that case sensitive? Like I can mention as
Ah,
the uppercase or the lowercase.
okay, okay. So the question is the SQL case sensitive or not? Okay, let me answer that. Uh, See, SQL is case sensitive and SQL is again not case sensitive. So when SQL is case sensitive, when SQL is not case sensitive, I will tell you that. Okay. But before answering that question, any other question? Any other question, guys?
So Tanvir, there are two type of keywords. So
Hmm.
SQL keyword and user defined keyword.
Right.
Please highlight.
Sorry, lot of noise is coming from your end. Hello. Can you please repeat?
Yes, yes. Are you able to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
me?
Yeah, I can hear, but some noise is coming. A lot of noise is coming. Yeah. Yeah, can you tell what you're asking? Can you try once again?
Yeah. So earlier you had mentioned there are two type of keyword, right? One is
Uh-huh.
SQ reserved keyword and another one is user defined keyword.
Right, right. Yeah. Hmm.
So just
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. Tell me.
yeah, yeah. So please highlight the user defined keyword. Where is user defined keyword in this sequence?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Good, good, good. So, good question. So, you're asking that I have mentioned there are two types of keywords. One is reserved keywords and the other is user-defined keywords. So, what are those keywords? So, reserved keywords are those keywords which have a special meaning in SQL world, like create. This is a reserved keyword. Why? Because the moment you will write create, the SQL engine will automatically understand that the user wants to create something. Okay, that is why this is known as reserved keyword, because SQL has some special meaning for this. Then table. This is again the reserved keyword. When you write table, that the SQL engine will understand the user wants to create table. But this implied, what is this? This is the name of the table. Okay. So this is user defined. Why user defined? Because you have kept the name of this table as employee. If you want to keep the name as something different, suppose you want to create a table with named person, you can create a table with named person. So name of a table is user defined. Why? Because user has freedom. He can keep any name. So those keywords are known as user defined keywords. Like here, this column name employee ID. Who has kept this name? I have. I have kept the name as employee ID, right? If you want, you can keep the name as like this as well. Nobody will stop you. So the column name, table name, these all are user defined because user has all the right to keep the name whatever they want. So table name, column names, these are user defined keywords. And this create, this table, this DSC, describe. The moment you will write DSC, SQL engine will understand that, okay, user is asking me to describe something. So this is reserved keyword. Insert, this is reserved keyword because the moment you will write insert, SQL engine will automatically understand that the user is asking me to insert some data. Hope that is clear now.
Yes, Tanvi, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, any other question before I jump into that case sensitive part because that will take some time. So before
Maybe
that,
like one more question. Like suppose
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have mentioned 5 data types, okay, and 5 columns. Okay.
Yeah, I here I have mentioned 5 columns. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Suppose I have entered 6 records, then
Ah,
six,
good
six
question,
columns.
good question,
Then
good
it will
question.
take as a
I got your question. So the question is, Tanvir, here you have created this employee table with 5 columns: employee ID, employee name, salary, location, and gender. These are the 5 columns. Okay. And suppose I was trying to insert data in this employee table. So here you have entered 5 data: 1, 100, Delhi, and name. There are 5 data, right? One second data. This is third data, fourth data, and the fifth data. But by mistake, suppose by mistake I have entered some other value, right? I have entered some sixth data by mistake. Then what will happen? That is the question you are asking?
yes, sir, yes.
Yes? Okay. So before I answer this question, is the question clear to everyone? You all understood what is the question? The question
Yes.
is, that in this employee table, you have created only 5 columns. But by mistake, if I am trying to insert 6 data, then what will happen? Okay, before I run this, I will ask you guys to think and share your thoughts. I'm not telling to tell me the exact answer. Just share your thoughts. What do you think? What will happen? Any idea? Any guesses?
It should give error.
It should throw error. Why it will throw error?
The number of columns are only 5 and we are entering six data for the sixth column.
Correct. So this will throw error message. Why? Because actually SQL engine will get confused here. Why SQL engine will get confused? Because it is like you have 5 chairs. This is one chair. This is another chair, employee name. Salary is the third chair. Location is the fourth chair. Gender is the fifth chair. Now, how many guests do you have? This is one guest. This is second guest. This is third guest. The fourth guest, fifth guest, sixth guest, right? So it is not like that. You will give this one to employee ID, 8 to employee name, 100 to salary, daily to location, M to gender. Now, where you will fit this 900? So SQL will get confused. And please make a note of this point. Whenever SQL will get confused, it will throw error message. I will show you many other examples down the line during this training course. that whenever SQL will get confused, it will throw error message. So in this case, don't think that okay, these all values will be inserted in these columns and this 900 will be left out. No. In this case, SQL will get confused that where to fit this 900, and that's why it will not insert any of this data, and this will throw error message. Let me run this and let me show you this. Too many values. Okay, SQL engine is telling that too many values. It is throwing error message. Hope it is clear.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now in this you can ask opposite of this as well. That okay, Tanveer, by mistake I have entered only 4 records. Suppose like this. I have entered only 4 records. You can see I have entered only 1, 2, 3, and 4 records. Now what will happen? Okay.
Now, another like what I have not entered, it's throwing null for this.
It will insert data, it will throw error message.
It will insert it.
It will insert data. Okay. Any other thought?
Throw error.
It will throw error. Okay. See, tell me one thing. Here SQL will get confused or not? First of all, answer this question.
No confusion.
It will get confused, Tanvir, because
Hmm.
we will be having like what we say for gender it will be varchar, whereas for salary or employee ID it will be int. So again there may be a chances of server getting confused.
No, it will not get confused. Like in sequence, it will insert, like if it's correct.
Okay. So you all might be thinking that okay, here one will be inserted in this employee ID, A will be inserted in employee name, 100 will be inserted in salary,
Mhm.
Delhi will be inserted in location. So we
Yes.
have inserted all the data. So one chair is left out, then that is not a problem. So in this case, it should insert the data, right? I think some of you will be thinking in this manner, right?
Yes, yes.
But the story is different. SQL will again get confused. Why? Because here, here you are telling to SQL that insert data in employee. Okay. Now SQL is expecting 5 records, 5 data. One for employee ID, one for employee name, one for salary, one for location, one for gender. SQL is waiting for this. But you have passed only 4 data. So now SQL is confused that why user has not passed one more data. So again SQL will get confused. Okay. And this will throw error message. Not enough values. Got it? So either if you are giving more data, SQL will get confused. If you are giving less data, again SQL will get confused. And that will throw error message. Is that clear? Any question?
Yeah.
Is that clear, guys? Any question or you
Clear.
want me to repeat this? Clear?
But can we like
Hmm.
what I have not entered, it will accept as a null now?
No. It will not accept as null. It will not accept as null. It for okay. When I will teach you null concept, no, I will
Sure.
cover it there. But here it will not consider that as a null by default. You might be thinking that Tanvir, I have entered only 4 data now, so the last value it should consider as null. No,
Okay.
it cannot consider as null because null is very different data. Okay, we will discuss about null. What is null? What is the difference between zero, blank, and null, and all those things.
Sure.
Okay. So the story is if you have 5 columns, you have to enter exactly 5 data. If you're entering 6 data, it will throw error message. If you're entering 4 data, it will again throw error message. And there is a valid reason for that. We will discuss all those things. Okay.
Yes.
So before I proceed further, any question, guys, on this?
Uh, Tanvir, actually, you declare employee ID as int, right?
Right.
Hello. If
Correct.
suppose I entered character in employee ID
Hmm.
as a character, it will throw
Mhm.
error or it will take.
Okay. Okay, let me answer this. I thought of covering this in data type class, but let me answer this now.
Tanvir, to add
Ah.
on to that question,
Mhm.
what previously someone has asked, is it
Hmm.
like if I want employee ID, like either I want to enter it as a number or as a character. Is it
Hmm.
possible that also, like for example, rather than giving it as one, someone want to enter it as one? So is it
Hmm.
possible in like
Okay.
no, however we wanted, like either in a numerical value or in character
Mhm.
values?
Okay. Okay, let me answer this question. But again, when I will teach you data type, I will cover that part. Okay, but quickly I will answer this question now. And one more thing, whenever I am telling you that, okay, if you're asking question and if I'm telling that, okay, this question we will cover in this topic, when I will teach this, then I will cover this question. So please make a note of those questions. Okay, and when I will be covering those particular topic, again ask that question. That then you have told that this question we will answer. Okay. Now to answer your question, where can where can see if you have declared any column, okay, as int integer or as a number, okay, if you have declared any column as int integer or number, it will accept only numbers, okay. But if you have declared any column as varchar or varchar2, it can accept numbers as well as characters or strings. Okay. So let me give you one example and then that will be more clear. Suppose I am trying to create a table, a student. Okay. And this is a student ID. I am taking it as int. Fine. And then you have marks. And this is like var uh, varchar. Take it as varchar. Something has to be. So here what I'm trying to do, I am trying to create a table, a student, STUD student, and the first column is student ID, data type is integer. The next column is marks, data type is varchar 50, or keep it as varchar 2 because I have told you earlier that you can write varchar or varchar 2 your wish. So now I am trying to show you with varchar 2. Okay. So I am running this, and let's see. Table is created. Now I want to verify whether the table is created or not. So what is the keyword for that? How to verify the table?
The description
Describe.
table
Describe.
name.
Ah,
Des-
describe. DSC. Very good. Describe the student. Just write the table name. And SQL engine will show you the structure of the table. You can see we have two columns, the student ID and marks. Student ID is number, marks is varchar. So here you can see I have mentioned varchar2. So still it is showing as varchar2. In the previous example I have shown as varchar. So you can use varchar or varchar2. They both are one and the same. Okay. What is the difference? I will tell you when I will teach you in data type class. Okay. Now I am trying to insert data. Insert into student values. Please concentrate and ask question. This is very important concept. I'm trying to insert this data in this student table, one row inserted. Now I want to see the data. What is the keyword for that? Select. Whenever you want to see the data, you have to write the select a star from student. Okay, I'm running this. Data is inserted successfully. Okay.
Yeah.
Now coming to your question which you have asked. Suppose now I want to insert a new record, but I want to give that this as TWO2. That is what you have asked, right? And suppose the salary is 200. Correct? This is the question you have asked, that the student ID is Tanvir. I want to give like ONE1 or TWO2. So whether it will accept or not. Correct? That's the question you have asked.
Yes, Tanvir.
Right? Okay. Let me run this and please check. Invalid number. You are getting some error message that this is invalid number. Why? Because you have mentioned here a student ID as integer, okay, and you are passing this as a string, alphabets. So that is why the SQL engine is not accepting it. Correct? No. Suppose you went to a restaurant and you ask for veg biryani, and if they are serving you chicken biryani, so you will not accept it. You are a vegetarian. You are asking for veg. Correct? It is exactly same as that. You have mentioned here to SQL engine that this is restaurant ID and I will accept only integer. But here you are passing alphabets. The SQL is confused, and that's why it is throwing error message that boss, this is invalid number. What you are doing? You are told here that I will pass integer. Now you are passing here character. Is that clear?
Clear, clear.
Hope it is clear, guys.
But this marks
Hmm.
is varchar too, right? Marks column, but we are giving it as a number, right? 200
That
is a number, so
yeah. That is
it
what
should
I
give
have
error,
mentioned
na?
here. That is what I mentioned here. That is the data type is varchar or varchar2. It can accept number as well as characters or strings. Here you will
Oh,
see in the varchar column, this varchar column, I have passed alphabets, strings, right? And here you can see in marks, I have passed numbers. That is what I want to highlight here. That if the column is integer data type or number data type, strictly it will accept only numbers. Okay. But if the column is varchar or varchar2, it is flexible cell. It can accept number, it can accept a string, it can accept characters, anything. That's not a problem. Okay. Is that clear?
Yeah, good to go.
Any other question, guys?
The case sensitive.
I'm coming to that case sensitive after this. Any question before I move to case sensitive because that will take time. No questions? Okay, now coming to the case sensitive part of SQL engine. I'm proceeding ahead with the assumption that we don't have any question. What is case sensitive? Okay. Before I answer this case sensitive, SQL is case sensitive and SQL is again not case sensitive. And this we have to understand from two perspectives. Okay. The first one is from reserved keywords perspective, and the other one is from a user defined keywords perspective. Okay. Now, tell me one thing. In this, now let's come back to our original employee table. Okay. I want to fetch all the data of the employee table. What is the query for that? Select
Select star from employee.
the star from employee, right? And I'm executing this. We got this output. This is the output, right? Now, if I will write the same query in this manner, what is the difference between this first query and the second query? This line number 29 and line number 30. What is the difference?
Table is we are mentioned as uppercase or lowercase.
Yeah, here the table name is all in uppercase. Here this was in lowercase. Now, if I will execute this, tell me, it will throw error message or it will give this output? You can tell me.
It will give result.
It will give result. Okay. Any other thought? Okay. See, this will give result. Let me show you this. You are getting the result? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what about this? If I will execute this, I will get result or not? You will get result here as well. Let me show you this. You got the result? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, from this first example, second example, and this third example, what you understood? What I'm trying to make you understand.
Anvil, for third example, I was expecting it should have thrown error. but
Okay,
it
but we are getting output.
yes.
So from this three example, line number 29, line number 30 and 31, what I have changed? I have changed the case only. The query is same. And
Yeah.
in all the three cases, you got the output as well and the same output. So what we concluded that your reserved keywords or user defined keywords are not case sensitive. You write it in lowercase, you write it in uppercase, you write the reserved keywords in uppercase. That is not a problem. You are getting the same output. So what we concluded, your reserved keywords and the user defined keywords are not case sensitive. You can write this in lowercase, you can write in uppercase. That's not a problem. Any question so far?
What if only first letter is capital, others are small?
Okay. Let me show you that as well. This is you are telling, right? Correct.
For
Let me mix this.
user defined as well as reserved keyword as well.
Okay. Let me mix this. Okay. Fine.
Yes, then.
This is okay. You can see this is totally mixed case, right? Upper, lower, everything is mixed. Now I'm running this again, and again you will get the output. Again you got the output, right? So that is what I am trying to explain, that your user defined keywords or reserved keywords, right? In any case, Pascal case, Camel case, any case, you will get the same output. And from all these four queries, we concluded that the reserved keywords, user defined keywords, write this in any manner, lowercase, uppercase, mixed case, Camel case, Pascal case, whatever case you want. Okay, you will get the same output. This is not case sensitive. Which one? Reserved keywords and user defined keywords. Any question? And you might be thinking that if you're working on Python, it is very case sensitive. Unix shell scripting, it is case sensitive. If there is the reserved keywords, suppose you are searching WC-L, you write in uppercase, that will throw error message. But that doesn't happen here in SQL. You can write in uppercase, you can write in lowercase, and even I have shown you, I have proved you that it is working all and same. Any question here? Any question, guys? Is this clear or not? Or you want me to repeat this? Anyone?
It's clear.
Clear? Okay. So now can I tell that SQL is not case sensitive? Can I tell that SQL is not case sensitive?
No,
No. Why?
only keywords are like not case sensitive, but if we are like giving some clause in like filter condition, so that
Right.
yeah.
See, from this you cannot tell that the SQL is case insensitive. Okay. Why? Now, let me show you some other example. Suppose, okay, before this, okay, I want to insert one more record in the employee table now. So what was our second record here? 2B200 Mumbai female. 2B200 Mumbai. This is female. Okay, now I'm inserting this record. Record is inserted. Now I want to verify data is inserted or not. Oh, this is the data. Okay. Now here, suppose the question is that Tanvir, I don't want to see all the record. Show me the employees who are from Delhi only. Okay. So here you want to display the records who are from Delhi only. Then for that you have to apply a filter. And in SQL world, the filter is where. Okay, in SQL world, filter is where. So you have to write where location is equal to daily. Okay. So if you are executing this query, you are telling the SQL engine that show me all the data from employee table, but only those who are from Delhi location, because we have given here filter as location is equal to Delhi. Now I'm running this query. Now you can see only the Delhi who are from Delhi. That information is coming here. So this filter where is clear? Is this clear, guys? Okay. Now here, suppose if I will write this Delhi in uppercase. Now if I will execute this query, what will happen?
It will throw error
It will throw error. Why?
because the data inside the data is case sensitive,
Hmm.
so it will throw error.
Okay. One answer is this will throw error message. Any other answer? Any other thoughts?
Zero records found. Like
Zero
no
record.
no record will be
No. No record found. Okay. Two answers. Any other thought? Any other answer? Any other guesses?
It
No
will
record found.
it will give Delhi only because user defined value is not case sensitive.
The defined value is not case sensitive, so you will get data. Okay.
Yeah.
So three responses I have received. First one is this will throw error. Second one is no data found, and third one is this will give me the data of the Delhi location. Okay, fine. Let me execute this. And the answer is no data found. Okay, now let's try to understand. This is very important concept of SQL. Actually, when you are executing this query, okay, your SQL engine is going into this employee table, okay, and it is searching for the location Delhi. If you have mentioned this in uppercase, so please make a note of this point. It will search for exactly uppercase Delhi because data is case sensitive. If you have mentioned Delhi in uppercase, it will search for uppercase Delhi. But in data, but in the database, the Delhi is in only D is in uppercase. All other characters are in lowercase. So when your SQL engine is searching for this Delhi, it is unable to find this Delhi all in uppercase. There is no record for Delhi all in uppercase. So that's why then SQL engine is telling you that, sir, I have searched for this Delhi location, but I could not find any data where Delhi all in uppercase is present, and that's why it is telling you no data found. Is that clear now? So from this, what we understood that data is case sensitive. This is data. You are searching for data. So data is case sensitive. Any question?
It's like let's consider there are like around we have around 1,000 to 2,000 rows.
Correct, correct.
And there may be a chances that for few of the rows I would have entered data in like camels or small letters, capital letters. But still I want those like for example for 10 rows it is in capital, but for remaining 90 rows I would have entered in small cases or other cases. At that time, how it is like still I want all the rows. How is it any way we can get still those data?
Okay, I got your question. So let me insert data in the same manner what you do. So now I'm inserting one more record, employee 3C, and he is in Delhi. Okay, let me show you the data first of all. So now you can see in this employee table, I have 3 records. Now the question is that Tanveer, okay, fine, you told that you have written here Delhi in uppercase, okay, and that record was not present, and that's why it has thrown error message, right? But what if in my database I have 1 million record and I am not sure whether the records are saved in this uppercase, all are in uppercase, or some are in lowercase, or some are in mixed case, or a different case? Then how I can find it? I think that's the question, right? Hello, that's the question, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, before answering that question, first of all, is this concept clear or not? That data is case sensitive. You have to search for the exact case. If it is written D in capital and all other in lowercase, you have to write in that format. And that is why SQL is case sensitive with data. But for reserved keywords and user defined keywords, SQL is not case sensitive. That I have proved you from here. But SQL is case sensitive with data. I have proved you from here. Okay. Now I will answer your question, but just give me 1 minute. Okay. Before that, I want to explain some more concepts, and I will come to your question. Now, tell me one thing. If I will execute this query, if I will execute, what will be the output?
One record will come second.
Okay, this record will be fetched, right? That is what you are telling.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Any other thought, guys? Any other answer? Any other thought? Anyone who thinks that data will not be fetched, or there will be error message? Any other thought?
No, Tanvir. I guess it
No.
will be giving
Okay.
second row.
Okay, it will give second row. Okay, okay. But I am confused here. I am getting confused. This select I have written in uppercase. This from I have written in uppercase. Employee is in uppercase. Where is in uppercase. Location is in uppercase. Don't you think this will throw error or this will tell no data found?
No, because keywords are like case insensitive.
Very good. Because right now we have discussed that the reserved keywords and the user-defined keywords are case insensitive. Your wish. You write this in uppercase, lowercase, in whatever case you want, you write it. That's not a problem. Hope that is clear. So that's what, if I will execute this, this will show me, or this will give the output as Mumbai location. So you got that. So finally, what we understood, the reserved keywords, the user-defined keywords, they are not case sensitive. You can write those things in lowercase, uppercase, mixed case, whatever you want. But data is case sensitive. You have to write exactly how it is present in the database. Hope this concept is clear. Any question? Okay. Now, moving to the question, someone asked that Tanvir, okay, fine, we understood that data is case sensitive. And here you are showing only 2 to 3 records. And easily we can see that, okay, this is an uppercase, lowercase, and we can add that value. But in my project, I have 1 million record. Okay. And in that data, what happened? Few of the employees, their location, they have mentioned Delhi in uppercase. Okay. You can see some of the employees, you can see Delhi all in uppercase. Here D is in uppercase. Okay. Or let me insert one more record here. So you are asking that, okay, in my table, no, I have data, and that is all in mixed case. You can see here D is in uppercase, all are in lowercase. Here all the daily in lowercase. Here here all are in uppercase. So how I can find this? That is very tough, right? So correct and good question. So for this, what you can do is you have to use upper and lower keyword. You have to use this keyword. Upper addition is equals to Delhi. Okay. And let me execute this, then I will explain you that how this upper is working. You got all the daily location or not? Tell me yes or no.
Get all
Correct.
the
Yes.
All the daily location are coming. They all are in different
Yes.
case. Here D is in uppercase, all are in lowercase. Here all the daily is in lowercase. Here all are in uppercase, right? But we got all the daily location, and this was the question. So when you are not sure about the case, so you have to write this keyword upper, okay? And then the data which you are searching, keep that data in all in uppercase, and you will get the output. Okay. Now, okay, first of all, is this clear or not? Then I will explain you that how SQL engine is working on this. Is this clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now let's try to understand that when you are executing, when I have after selecting, I click on run. So after clicking on run, how SQL engine is working on this? That is very important. Let's try to understand that. Okay. So, so guys, you will see that this reserved keywords and the user defined keywords. Sometime I will write this in uppercase, sometime I will write it in lowercase intentionally. So don't get confused that why Tanvi is writing sometime in uppercase and sometime in lowercase. Because already I have explained you that this is case insensitive. You can write in uppercase or lowercase your wish, right? So now, in my employee table, this is the data. Okay, let me copy this in an Excel sheet. This is our employee table, and now we will try to understand that exactly how SQL engine works. Okay, and this is very important if you're interested in writing complex SQL queries. Now you have executed this query. Sorry, I have a very bad throat. So you are executing this query. So now let's try to understand that when you have run this query, after running this query, you got this is not, those who are not speaking, please go on mute. So you are getting this is an output. So now we will see that how SQL engine is processing this. Okay. So this is your table and this is the query. So whenever you are writing query, okay. So first of all, SQL engine will hit this from keyword. Don't think that you are writing select first, so SQL engine will start processing from here. No. First of all, any SQL query, whether it is 100 lines of code, 200 lines of code, or 1 line of code, always use SQL engine. It starts from this from keyword. Okay. So this is the first thing. Let me highlight this. So your SQL engine will see that okay, the from keyword is employee. So immediately after looking at this from employee, your SQL engine will scan the entire database and it will search for the employee table where it is present. Okay. After searching for the employee table, suppose it will make a copy of that in its temporary memory. Now here is the copy of this employee table, because SQL engine will understand that the user will ask some data from this table only. So that is why it has created a copy of this employee table. So when you are executing any query, so first of all your SQL engine will start execution from this from employee keyword. Is this clear or not? Then I will proceed further. Any question on this?
No question.
Oh, okay, this is clear. Please try to understand from SQL engine perspective. All my classes, all my concepts, whichever I will be teaching will be from SQL engine, that how SQL engine process it. And this is very important if you want to write complex SQL queries. I used to get a lot of questions, a lot of inquiries that Tanvir, I can write simple queries, but when I'm writing complex queries, I'm unable to write because you don't know how the SQL engine is working. That's the problem. Okay. So SQL engine has created a copy of this employee table. From keyword is done. This task is over. Okay. After this, where it will go? So this task is over. Now let me keep it in green color. This task is over. Now, after from, your SQL engine will go to where clause. It will pick this one, where. Then SQL engine will see that, okay, user is telling me to convert this location to upper. Okay. User is telling to convert this location to upper. So then immediately your SQL engine will convert this location to upper. It means the user is telling me to convert all the location to uppercase. Please try to understand. I know this is a little bit complex. So all your data in the location column will be converted in uppercase. Internally, SQL engine will convert all this in uppercase. Don't think that it will touch your original table. You see, original table the SQL engine is not touching. He has taken a copy of that and he is playing on top of it. He has converted all the location in uppercase. You see, Delhi is converted in all in uppercase. This Delhi converted all in uppercase. Mumbai converted all in uppercase. Similarly, this was in uppercase, so no issues. This will be in uppercase only. Okay, so first of all, you have mentioned here upper location. So SQL engine has converted the location data all in uppercase. Is this clear?
Clear, clear, clear. Yeah, but tell me what is the function? Upper function is what?
Upper function, the functionality of upper keyword is just to convert the data in uppercase. That's what I have shown you here. That when SQL engine will see the upper location, immediately it will convert all the data in uppercase. That is the only functionality of upper. So you can see all the data is converted in uppercase. So internally SQL engine in its temporary memory, it will not touch the original table. Please make a note of this point. It will not touch the original table.
And
It
can
will-
we
it will
define as
convert-
a Delhi as a D? Only D.
define Delhi as D. Sorry, I didn't get your question. Sorry.
A last name.
Last name, yeah, this was already in upper, so this is in upper only.
Yeah.
Okay. So all the data of location column will be converted in uppercase. You can verify it from here. First of all, is this clear or not?
Yes, yes.
Clear?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Then after changing or translating this to uppercase, then SQL engine will see that the user is telling me that first of all convert all this in uppercase, and after that compare this new column upper location to Delhi. Okay, then it will start searching for this Delhi wherever it is Delhi. So is this Delhi matching with this? Yes, it is matching. It will highlight this. It is matching with this? Yes, it is matching exactly. It will highlight this. Is it matching with this? It is matching exactly. Then the SQL engine will see the corresponding data of this. So this is the corresponding data. It will highlight this. This is the corresponding data. It will highlight this. This is the corresponding data. This will highlight this. So here the task of where upper location is equal to Delhi is over. Any questions so far? Anyone who wants me to repeat this? Is this clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, clear. Yeah.
So guys, don't mug up the things that okay, if upper means I have to write in upper and that's all. No. Try to understand that how SQL engine is processing it. Okay. So this upper task is over. Now let me highlight this in green color because this is over. Now, after this, what is left out? Select a star is left out. Then at the last, your SQL engine will pick this one, select a star. Now you might be thinking that Tanvir, this is surprising. When you're writing your SQL query, first of all, you're writing select. But why SQL engine is taking the select at the very last? What is the reason? We will discuss the reason for this. When I will teach you the semantics, syntax, parser, and all those things, I will tell you that why SQL engine takes this select star at the very last. Then you can ask the question that okay, if SQL engine is taking select star at the very last, then why you're not keeping it at the very last? Why you're keeping it at the very? I know these all questions will be coming in your mind. We'll discuss all these things down the line. Okay. So then you have mentioned select a star. So SQL, sorry. So when the SQL engine will see that you have mentioned select a star, it will understand that the user wants all the things. If you remember, in the very beginning class, I have told you the star means everything, right? If you remember,
All records. Yeah.
all records, all column, everything. So the moment SQL engine will see select a star, he will understand that the user is telling me to fetch all the data, all the columns, but only those data which fulfills this condition. So now you can see this data in green is fulfilling the condition. So it will copy first of all the columns. It will keep it here, and it will copy the records which has been highlighted, We'll keep it here, and this record from here, and then it will show you this is an output. Now you can verify this output with this output. Is this same or not, guys? Is it same? Okay.
Yes.
So this is how this upper keyword works. And if you're not sure about the case, lower or upper, so you have to use this upper keyword and you can get all the records from your table. Hope this is clear. Any question?
We can use lower also, correct? By giving.
Perfect. Yeah. I was coming after this. So before explaining your lower keyword, any other question on this? Any confusion?
No.
Okay. Hope this is clear. So, sorry. Similarly, we have a lower keyword as well. Okay. We have a lower keyword as well. Lower. But if you're writing lower, this all has to be in lowercase. Okay. And this will perform exactly same how it is working in uppercase. Now you got all the data. So if you're using upper, you have to keep the data in uppercase. If you are keeping lower, you have to keep the data in lowercase. This both will give you the same output. Is this clear? Not clear. I think
Yes.
this is not clear. Let me explain you this. See, when you're writing lower, okay, what is happening? All are exactly same. Here you have mentioned lower location. SQL engine will convert all the data in lowercase. Sorry. It will convert all the location in lowercase. Now see, all the locations are converted in lowercase. Delhi is in lowercase. This is also in lower. Mumbai is lower. Delhi, right? And then it will check this Delhi. Is it matching with this or not? So this matches, and this matches, and then accordingly it will fetch the corresponding data. Is this clear or confused? Shall I repeat this part? Is it clear, everyone?
Hello.
Yeah.
So, so what I understood, when we are selecting the data from a table, so a copy of table has been created, right? And their transformation is happening.
Yeah.
So it is
SQL
happening is
engine-
in memory.
Yeah, it is happening everything at runtime. Once the SQL engine will show this output, everything, this all will be deleted. Everything will be deleted. Okay. Now you might be thinking that Tanvir, this is converted in uppercase, but this is converted in temporary memory. If you will check the original table, still the location will be in this case only. Let me show you that. I am running this employee table, original table. Now see, still this is in all are in original data only. This is Delhi in uppercase. This is in mixed case. Because why? Your SQL engine has not touched the original data. Correct? It has taken copy of that. So this all upper. This all happens on the runtime, temporary memory. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. So once your SQL engine will give this as an output, after that this will delete everything. This all will be deleted. This is a rough page. This will be deleted. And it will not touch the original table. This will not disturb the original table. Any question, guys? No questions? Okay. If you don't have any question, I have a question. Suppose the same query, if I'm writing like this. If I'm executing this query, tell me what will be the output.
No record found.
No records found. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, no record found.
Records.
No record forms. Okay, good. It will give you output as no record forms, no data form, right? Similarly, why this is giving no data form? Because you have mentioned here upper and you're keeping all the data in lowercase. Okay. Similarly, if this kind of questions are asked in interviews, so please make a note of these things. What will be the output?
Yeah, similar node code form.
No
Yeah.
record forms. Why? Same justification. You have written lower, but you are giving the data in uppercase.
Yes.
But I will request you guys after the class, try to understand these two queries, line number 43 and 44, in the same manner how I have explained. Try to explain yourself that how it is working. Try to think that why SQL engine is telling no data form. What is the reason? So try to explain yourself with this format how I have done. Okay, so believe me, this will help you a lot in understanding how SQL works. Okay. So that's all for today, guys. It's almost 8:26. So today we have studied how to create a table, and I have shown you the simple syntax of this. Yes, it is having many other flavors, so we'll discuss that down the line. Then I have shown you how to insert data. We have seen some questions here that if the number of records are more or less, then what will happen? And then we have seen the case sensitive and case insensitive. Okay. So please go through this. We will share the recording and assignment question today. Work on that. If you're getting stuck, please get back to me. Okay, you can get back to me or Aditi. Okay.
Yeah,
Any question? Yeah.
sure.
Final call. Any question, guys?
No, all good.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, I have a question.
Yeah, please do.
So Tanvir, so each day, what are the topics you are discussing? So are you going to share the about these around these topics interview related questions as well?
Yeah. See, this is
Mhm.
the agenda. You can see in each and every batch we mention the agenda. Like if you can see this, is this April batch? This is the April batch. Okay, so how we proceed is this is the total topics. Daily basis, I will mention that what are topics we have covered. In April batch, we have covered all these topics. What are topics are left out? These all topics are left out. Topics in scope, these all topics are left out. Similarly, for your batch, I have created a separate worksheet here. Okay. Agenda, MySQL. So all topics are in scope. We will cover these topics, and the topics which we will cover, we will mark it as covered. Okay. And then at the same time, when I'm teaching you this, I will tell you that what all questions are asked in the interviews. Daily basis, we will share you 5 to 10 questions. So after the course, if you're having close to 200 set of questions, or maybe more than 200. Okay, daily basis, we will share this notes, whatever we have written here. We will share these notes after the class. We'll share the recording and the assignments. Okay, so we have this assignments here. You can see where is the SQL training. So this is the assignment list we have. Each and every date wise, we will share this with you. Any other questions?
And Tanvir, are we going to cover aggregate functions also?
Yes. It is there. You can see aggregate
Okay,
functions are there. Some max, minimum, average with
okay.
the aggregate functions.
Because there, I think I saw a couple of functions in some syllabus like list tag and other like something.
Yeah. You can see aggregate function is there. Then I will show you analytic and window functions. All those things.
Okay.
So we will prepare you till data analytics role. Okay, for sure. You can be able to
Mm-hmm.
solve those questions. But yes, you have to show commitment. You have to work on the assignments. You have
Yes,
to
yes.
revise the concepts.
Yep.
That we have. Okay. Any other question, guys?
Tanvir, today batch is for weekends batch or all are there for same
This is
series?
weekends. This is weekend batch, Saturday and Sunday, 1.5 hour. The next batch, weekdays batch will be Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. only, 1 hour daily.
Oh,
This weekend batch will go for close to 8 weeks. Okay.
okay.
Earlier this was for 5 to 6 weeks, but then we have increased this to 8 weeks. Okay. So close to 2 months journey with me. And the weekdays batch is for close to 5 to 6 weeks. Okay.
Tanvir, what we are covering in SQL, like function, so many like
Mhm.
queries and commands. These are
Mhm.
similar for the Postgres, Redshift, or MongoDB?
Yeah. You can use that Postgre or Microsoft SQL Server, Netezza, Teradata, wherever you want, you can use. Microsoft SQL Server, very minute changes will be there. That I will tell you down the line. Okay, where the changes will be there, where you have to be careful, and all those things I will teach you.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Any other question?
So,
Hmm.
I have one question. Actually, yeah. Actually, earlier I had installed the Microsoft SQL Server, SSM Studio in my laptop, but I was not able to create the user ID and password like that. So,
I
do
will
you
share the link.
yeah, do
I
you have
have that.
if you have the a guide how to install, how to create the server and
Yeah.
user ID, yeah, it will be helpful if you have.
I have told in the beginning that I will share all those things with you. Don't get confused. I will share all those things with you guys.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Any other question? Fine then. If you have any other question, guys, so you can connect with me after class. You can message me. You can call me. Okay. And please, humble request, try to make the session interactive. That was very good session today. You all have asked questions. So please make it a habit. The more questions you are asking, the more concepts I can deliver. Okay. So we have many concepts in mind, but if the questions and we are not asking questions, so we will forget many of the concepts. I'm very frankly and honestly, I'm telling you. That totally depends on you that how much you can check from my end. Whatever I know, I will share with you. Okay. Final call. Any questions? Okay. No questions. So thanks a lot, guys, for joining the session. We'll connect tomorrow at the same time, 7 a.m. Okay. Thanks, Aditi. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.